Welcome to No Fomo Charts YouTube channel live stream number 3. Today is July 29th, 2020. In this channel, I talk about stock charts and technical analysis. Disclaimer, these videos and charts are for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Please remember to click subscribe and turn on notifications for new videos. If you have a question about a stock chart or technical analysis, please let me know in the chat box or the comments. Also, before we begin, if you would like to make a donation, we have Patreon or PayPal links in the description, in the channel description. Those donations are always appreciated to keep this channel going, to provide good content for everyone. Okay, here we go. So today we had the FOMC meeting, the Q&A, the tech company antitrust hearings for Amazon, Apple, Google, and Facebook. The Asian session is opening soon. And so with all of that in mind, we have big tech earnings tomorrow. So on Thursday, July 30th, USA time, we have, one second. We should have Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook tomorrow. We should have those reported tomorrow. So, with those big tech earnings in mind, let's take a look at the charts. Before I start, hello, welcome to the live stream. If you have a question about stock chart analysis, if you have a stock you would like me to look at, or a just question about general technical analysis education, feel free to let me know in the chat box. Thanks. Here we go. Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, DJI. So, Dow Jones right now. So, it's only been 3 days, basically. So, before I turn on all the lines, we just think about this. We had a very short-term rally this month in July, about 3 weeks long. Double top on the price, 27,000 with the pullback. Down to support. So now we turn the lines back on. There you go. It takes a little moment to load. Okay, so you see now we're just riding the support level. Here. So with big earnings the next 2 days, especially tomorrow, right? This to me is just consolidation, hesitation, people just waiting to see what's going to happen. What's the news? What are the official earnings, numbers, and news? And then the market will have a reaction. So bullish target up to the upside, 27,050. Support, immediate support, this yellow line right here. This still 26,400. Bunch of supports all the way down here from 26,000 all the way down to 25,000. So we want to see that. So S&P 500, let's turn everything off for a second. Okay, so we had, again, the COVID crash, the subsequent market rally. Here we're in a bit of an uptrend. We are actually in a confirmed uptrend for July until now. So you'll see right here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, but it's getting stuck around this support level. A little bit of bullish sentiment today. But again, when you turn my lines on, yes, this looks pretty confusing and it takes some time to load, right? A little bit glitchy. But there is this large yellow box resistance up ahead. So this whole range from 30 to 60 to 3320 is all resistance. And the previous all-time high of somewhere around 3395 is the all-time resistance. Okay, so again, bullish target if earnings is a smash in terms of good. If it's bullish, target's still up here, 3332, 3333. We call it 3,333. Right? To maintain the higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high would be somewhere in this range. Not exactly that number, somewhere in that range. But if it breaks bearish, break down, I'm looking at 3123. Longer term, of course. 3123, 3,000. All right? So just because we get one red day or one green day, okay? Let's take a step here to pause and talk about like what does the news try to do to us. When you turn on news and you listen to like the radio or the news and you hear the Dow's up, S&P up X amount of points, right? And they use points to make it sound really big, right? I mean, if someone has $1 billion account, $1 million account, yes, basis points matters. But for most traders or investors, I'm talking about like people maybe who started this year, that doesn't really matter that much. What matters more is the trend. What is the trend? Okay? Is it, let's go to a blank, let me go to a blank spot on this. Like, is the trend uptrending? Okay? Or is it downtrending? Uptrend? How do we know it's an uptrend? You get higher highs and higher lows in the price. Downtrend? How do we know it's a downtrend? You get lower lows and lower highs in the price. So you need time for that to show if you're looking at daily trends, like one-day charts, like I do for the most part. Okay, so right here, this took like a month. Higher high, higher low, higher high. This is the higher low. Establish the higher low at 3,200, looking to see if we're going to break bullish on earnings and momentum and try to get to 3,333. Okay, so check out for that. Okay, next, NASDAQ, Composite Index, IXIC. Still in this consolidation range. I mean, NASDAQ, I'm not putting too much weight on this chart until we see what are the big four earnings tomorrow for tech. The big 3 or 4 earnings, right? We're talking Apple, Google, Amazon, Facebook, according to my calendar, right? It might change. Earnings dates and subject to change, but I'm not putting too much weight on this chart. All I'm going to say is we bounced technically off the support. And even in the hearing today, let's check the after hours. Yes, even with the hearing today, we're not getting a huge bearish market reaction, meaning we didn't get this today, right? We didn't get limit down. That didn't happen today. So to me, I'm interpreting this as, hey, you know what? Big tech survived this antitrust hearing, at least for today. Or people just didn't digest the news, or it was non-event. I watched like half of it live, and I'm like, this is not really... It doesn't seem super bearish. I mean, there's some, yes, like cringy or embarrassing moments for some people, but, you know, we're not getting a huge bearish reaction. But potentially what you want to watch out for is potential head and shoulders setup, right? It could happen. It could happen. It's possible. So let's just pretend, hypothetically, if this happens in the blue, right? About 4%, right? That would bring us back down to here, 98.32. See this? Let me make a blue X. That would be the first head and shoulders target if that happens. I'm going to leave this blue here and see if this actually plays out. If it doesn't play out, if we break bullish, break out, go up, this is the target, obviously. Because they hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 times. This might be the 4th time, so we'll see what happens. But can't really call it right now. We need to see the earnings. It's like the biggest deal for this week in terms of news. Next, Russell 2000. Look at this bullish momentum today with the breakout above this support level of 1484, right into this bullish target zone. Like I was saying, 1500. How did I get this number? You got to look left. Yeah, you got to look left. So you got to look left for here. Resistance here. Resistance. Inflection resistance point right here. So now this is 3 touch points. So again, if this trend is an uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, this could have been the higher low, right? So if it's going to try to break out bullish, the next target would be 1530 for Russell 2000. If we break down bearish, if we go down Okay, we're talking 1440, we're talking 1419. All right, these two little yellow circles are still the support. All right, so VIX still in its daily downtrend. Okay, but again, suspicious at the support. But I'm not going to make too many decisions off the VIX because it's the fear index. It's essentially kind of like the inverse of the S&P 500 to an extent. So all I'm going to say is that support right now. What's more important is the S&P 500 itself. So I'm just saying VIX though at a level of support around $24. If the VIX break out bullish, still 28.20. Breakdown bearish, still 22. Okay, it didn't really go anywhere that much. Except, I mean, if you're doing large trades, then yes, down, down, down. Right, for the past 4 days. But for most people, probably not trading the VIX. Okay, quickly, gold spot, US dollar, XAU, USD. This is a Forex chart. So again, the lesson is we don't want to call candles until they're closed. If like 2 days ago, this was a doji temporarily. I mean, it was a shooting star temporarily, but then turned into a doji. This is also a doji. And then we're opening up essentially with a type of pullback. So again, gold has plenty of room to pull back. It can pull back all the way to 1875. Okay, let's mark that in blue. Somewhere around here. Right, it could do this. And then continue uptrend. Like we could still be fine. Or start breaking down. Right, so again, the interesting spot I'm looking for price wise is 1880. Resistance still above 2000 right here would be the initial bullish target. 2000, okay? But there's all these supports on the way down. There's 1943, there's 1911. But 1880 would be an interesting spot for support level. Okay, quickly. Silver. Okay, so I was just saying the other day, yesterday, that is this Elliott Wave 5 wave impulse pattern? Possible, right? But we're not seeing a huge reaction to the downside. So what I'm going to do is just temporarily, I'm going to erase that. Why? Because there's other more important support levels that are really obvious that we should be focusing on. So what are the support levels? Look at this, tightening, okay? Tightening range. Let's draw it. Look at this, tightening range. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. So if someone's an intraday trader, this is a big deal. Right? If someone's a Forex intraday trader, it's a big deal. Look at this tight consolidation, but it's only 2 touch points. Right? Only 2 touch points, but still the most basic valid trend line. All right. But to me, what's more important are horizontal and resistance and support levels. So to the upside, 2464, 25, 26. To the downside, 2394, 2331, 2229. Okay, so all of these levels in white. But again, you just kind of back up and look. Where do we come from? Excuse me. Higher high, higher low, higher high. This basically making a higher low. Higher high, but also consolidating, right? So silver in a bit of a consolidation right now. But I call out these support and resistance targets. But basically the big levels is here, bullish target, and here, bearish target. So bullish target would be at 26, bearish target would be 22. Excuse me for a minute. Okay, so I'm back. Let's move on to the US dollar currency index, DXY. So this is still in play right now. This candle's not closed. But again, the dollar continuing its daily downtrend. That is a tongue twister. So right here, longer term, we're talking about even since the March 2021, 23 low, right? This was a higher low, but then lower high, longer term. Then lower low, lower high, so lower low. So it's seeking out, where's the lowest low? Where's the lowest low? going to be, we have to look left, even though they're psychological numbers. So there's 93.50, there's 93, there's 93.32, there's 92 in there, there's 91.46, there's 91. So let's leave those levels right there. So again, don't want to call anything off of this chart only. We don't want to call anything off of this chart only. So this is just the psychological aspect of, to me, I just use it more as a sentiment psychological indicator, meaning what are people doing with their money? Are they spending it or are they trying to save it? Are they deploying their money out or they're trying to recover their money back? So we have to watch out for that. Just want to say thank you so much for stopping by this live stream. If you have any questions about any stock tickers, stock charts, technical analysis education, please go ahead. Feel free to type it in the box. Here we go. U.S. oil. Little bit of news related to U.S. oil today. The Apache, APA, stock ticker reported their earnings today. Got a little bit of a bullish reaction on APA. Okay. But this is U.S. oil, the ETF. So again, not much really happening with U.S. oil yet in terms of the chart. But again, we cannot forget about this ascending triangle. Maybe it's an upward wedge. It depends on what you're looking at. It could be a wedge now. Doesn't have to be ascending triangle because it kind of broke out and it's bouncing around right here. Bouncing around right here, excuse me. So essentially what could happen, so in a nutshell, this is what I think is going to happen with U.S. oil. We're not going to probably see big U.S. oil moves until we get big news, fundamentals based upon reopenings, travel, and the oil industry itself, the supply and demand of the barrels of oil. So we haven't heard any of that news for like 2 months. Because you remember, if you were in this market the whole year, you remember around here this time, May, in June, we're talking about reopenings. There was reopening hype, saying, oh, we're going to reopen. And then actually what happened was, we're not going to reopen that fast. So again, it could be also psychological as well. But these bullish and bearish targets, to me, it's still there. It's just sitting there. We're just waiting for something to happen, right? Somewhere around 13 to 15% from the breakout spot. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe 33 is the upside target. Somewhere around maybe now 25.68 could be the downside breakdown target. So maybe I should move. Let me move this box, yellow box up. Make it tighter. All right. So let me save the chart. Okay. Next, natural gas. Check this out. Essentially hit the target. Let me move this X thing out of the way. Essentially hit the target almost, but basically right in our range, okay? How did we know this might happen? Again, it's just daily trend. It's trend. If you go higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, if it's going to continue an uptrend, it might try to make that higher high, right? And then where? You look left and be like thinking, okay, this might be some kind of support zone in the blue box. Okay, so the problem is though, is we don't want to predict too far out ahead. Like we don't want to think about, set 6 months from now what it's going to be. It's just right here. I'm more of an intermediate term time length trader. Okay, I'm not super short term. I'm not super long term. I'm just kind of medium term, manageable. So to actually see results. So yes, we're focusing on downtrend versus uptrend on the daily. So this is a confirmed downtrend. Okay, so how do we know? Again, let me just go over it one more time. How do we know we're in an uptrend or downtrend? If you're in an uptrend, make higher highs in the price and higher lows. You see that? That's an uptrend. Okay, but if you make lower lows in the price and lower highs in the price, meaning lower low price, lower high price, okay? Then that's a downtrend. It's hard to type on this, downtrend, okay? So this matters on a daily chart. So let me go ahead and go back here. So how does that relate to here? We're talking about downtrend right here. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then it stopped. And then what happened? Reversed. It takes time to see this on the charts. Higher high, well, higher high, higher low, high, big higher high, higher low, and then, okay, if it's going to keep going, maybe some people might take some risk and try to catch this higher high, right? That's what the psychology of this candle is. Basically, bears try to sell it down, then bulls say nope, and we're going up. Okay, so we hit this target. We hit this target right here, 1114. 1114. So where's the next target? Excuse me, we hit the target of $10 to $11. The next target would be a little bit higher, like 1150. Psychological, 1150, and then 12. Okay, but if it breaks down because it's hitting resistance, then the support level, probably 1030, $10, 992. So somewhere in this range if we break bearish. Hey, thanks so much for watching the live stream. If you have any questions about stock chart, tickers, or technical analysis education, just let me know in the comments, in the chat box. Thanks so much for watching. All right, so now because the Asian session is started, or recently starting in the next few hours, let's just skip over to the Shanghai Composite, and then we'll close out with crypto. Unless somebody wants crypto right now. So let's go to Shanghai Composite. Okay, SH Comp. Let me turn everything off. So again, if you're thinking about higher high, higher low, uptrend or downtrend, right? What would this part be? What would this part be? I already drew it. So it's a downtrend, right? Downtrend. How do I know this? Lower lows, lower highs. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower low. Okay? So again, Shanghai Composite, this is yesterday's candle. Or actually, is this today's candle? No, I have delayed. This is delayed, so this candle is not exactly accurate. But basically, the psychology is there: lower low, lower high, lower low, then trying to make a lower high. Okay, so the spots where it could go is if it's going to revert. If this is the bottom, it's going to reverse the trend. Then we're looking at 3,372, 3,447. Okay, but if it breaks down bearish, okay, we have this big gap support right here. This is a pretty significant support. Still, this little circle here matters. This level is 3,100. If we lose that, next target would be 3,000. Okay, so I'll leave these 4 targets here, and we'll see. HSI, Hong Kong Index, Hang Seng Index. All right, so HSI also in a downtrend. How do we know this? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And I called it last time in one of my videos. This could have been a little baby upside down head and shoulders on the intraday, right? Or just finding support level. If you just think of it like that. Finding support, 24,680. So if it's going to be a true downtrend and work on the charts nicely, it doesn't always have to do this, but what it could do is bounce up, right? That would logically make sense on the trend analysis. If it bounced up to here, where is that? 25,312. 25,312. If it breaks down bearish, this target still holds 24,148. But again, notice what's suspicious to me is it's going sideways basically for 3 days. All right, because if we're getting strong moves in the market, it should have went down or up by now. So this, a little bit of market hesitation, probably waiting for global news. That's what I'm thinking. That's what it looks like. Next, Nikkei 225. Check this out. Check this out. Price coming back right down to support. What level is that? 22,450 Japanese yen. So, short-term downtrend. How do we know that? Lower low, lower, well, let's back it up. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower highs, lower low. It's trying to find where's the low low. Okay, lowest low. So 22,272 could be the next downside support. If it happens to bounce back up, let's hypothetically put a bullish scenario on here. 22,662 to the upside. Okay, so these two targets would matter for the Nikkei 225. But what's suspicious though is technically on the chart pattern, there's a breakdown. There's a breakdown, right? So this is an interesting spot to look at, especially this level right here would be interesting. So I'll circle that for next time. Okay, moving on. KOSPI. The KOSPI, Korean Stock Price Index. So why did I draw these blue lines? Okay, so the KOSPI has been in a upward sloping wedge. There also could be another trend line drawn like that, so maybe I'll draw that one. Okay, so now it's more like a wedge. So it's hitting the top of this resistance area, which is also just, the day is not over for South Korea stock market, so I'm not going to call this current candle like what's happening today. All I'm going to call is what happened yesterday. So just kind of poked out above the resistance level and a little bit of gap up today, and still indecision, at least for now. Okay, I can't call it, it's not final, but again, there's a resistance up here at 22,086. So again, these two targets to the upside remain. How did I get these targets? Gotta look way left. Gotta look way left. Here we go. The first target is 2315 Korean won. The second target is 2354 Korean won. Excuse me. Then the two targets to the downside. Okay, if this thing breaks down, if the KOSPI breaks down, where do we think it's going? Probably a test of 2243, maybe a bounce like that, maybe a bounce down to 2233. If something really bad happens, then 2215. Over time, we might get to 2198. Okay, so this is the first kind of target I'm looking for to the downside, 2198. Let's circle it. The blue. If it goes up, goes up to do this, then I'm looking at 2314. If it breaks down, then I'm looking somewhere here or here, like 2200. Okay, so we'll just see. XJO, Australian Stock Market Index. Interesting pattern. Okay, these lines. The website is a little glitchy today. The lines are moving around, but again, attempted breakout, break down to support, and now strangely in a very short-term downtrend. It's very subtle on a daily chart, but it's here. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Breaking up today was like for this Australian market, right? So again, this support down here is key level of support, 6,000. Next resistance, 6,076. Next resistance, 6,100. Okay, so right here, 6,012. Another support, 5,988. So the bullish target, if this is going to bounce, somewhere in this range. X marks the spot, 6,088. If it breaks down, I'm probably looking for something like 5,990 range. Okay, pretty tight targets, but again, there's a lot of news that's happening this week. Okay, next, Nifty, the Nifty 50. Nifty 50. All right, so this day is not over yet, but essentially still in a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, high, low, high, low, high pattern. So where are the targets to the upside? Excuse me. Just got a little chat message on the screen. Okay, so targets to the upside. Again, there's a gap here. Let's actually draw this in. Okay, the gap. So the first resistance target would be this blue line, 11,349. Higher would be 11,601. Support levels to the downside, 11,065. And 10,956. These are all labeled in blue. But the psychology is what I'm concerned about. The market consolidating sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Little bit of bullish, right? Went up yesterday, break down today. So we want to see. what's going to happen here. But upside targets, all of here. Downside targets here. So we'll see for next time. I'm going to try to speed this up. So Euro next, bouncing off of support at 977. The resistance above still this blue box, 995. The downside target, 964. Okay, broke down out of this ascending triangle type of pattern. Okay, next, UK 100 index. Interesting, still finding a little bit of upside down head and shoulders style. So if this is real, I mean, the neckline is actually, it's a little tricky because there's also this half line neckline, right? So if we do that, very conservative target, it's not perfect technical analysis, but it can be like 3%. 3%, yeah, will bring us right back to the top of here. To the top of here. So we have to see what happens with the earnings reaction, but bullish target would be 6,320. Downside target would be 6,000. Still in play, okay? Is it going to be upside down head and shoulders? We'll see. But if not, it could just still consolidate around here. So these are still the consolidation targets for these levels. All right. SMI, Swiss Market Index. Okay, so the attempted breakout with the rejection at the resistance, finding support at 10,165, right? 10,165. Okay, with the bounce to resistance at 10,300. So if this is going to turn into a downtrend, it's seeking out the lower high, meaning it's saying where it's going to top out. Is it going to break out through here? If not, then it's going to reject it and probably come back down to test this support at 10,176. If it loses that, then probably going to 10,097. All right, so we're talking here. These two blue X's, all right, are the two levels to watch out for. Next, CAC 40 Paris Index. Okay, again, the psychology here, if it's a breakdown, okay, let me erase the lines so you can see. Okay, so it was in this upward sloping wedge, a little bit of breakdown, lost the support, test the support down here, the next one, with the bounce. So it's looking for the bounce overnight, seeking out the bounce. Where is it going to bounce to? Okay, could very well bounce right down to 5,000, 4,990. Excuse me. 4,990. 5,499. Right? If it does that, great. If it tops out to the downside, 478. 4,780. Right? So let's mark this. And let's mark this. We'll see. Okay, DAX Germany Index. Very similar, these European charts and stock market indexes. Very similar, right? Boom, higher high, but establishing a higher low. So it's still technically in the uptrend, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So it's going to see, the question remains to be seen, are we going to hold 12,816 and bounce to this resistance, why I circled it in yellow? Is this going to happen? 13,153. If not, I'm expecting a breakdown target of 12,490 down here. All right, so moving on. TSX, the Canada Stock Price Index. We hit our upside target, this resistance right here at 16,294 in just like one day, right? So then it remains to be seen, is the Canadian Stock Market Index going to continue its uptrend, high, low, high, low, high, into the 16,500 range? So that's somewhere like here. Okay, so circle for next time. The immediate support is actually somewhere in this range because there's trend line and horizontal line support right here at 15,967. So in a short-term uptrend, but it's going to see how far can it pierce up and where's it going to get rejected and reverse down. Okay, next, so let's go to crypto. Everyone's talking about crypto right now. All right, so right now a little bit of market consolidation. Look at the relationship. Let me bring up gold again. Let's bring up gold on the charts here. Look at what's happening with the price action. Look at these three candles, right? Let me zoom in. Big doji, and then pull back to start the day. Go, and then I'm going to click to Bitcoin right now. Look at this. Doji, shooting star, essentially finding resistance up here. It's similar. It's not exactly the same, but very, very similar. Okay, so right here, finding resistance. I'm going to put a new yellow box. Resistance at the 11,363 to 11,100. So basically 11,100 to 11,300, $200 range. Okay. Now what remains to be seen is, are we going to get a larger, broader, longer double top? Is that going to happen? We're going to fold over here. We're going to break through. Again, because the 5-wave Elliott's wave structure for the day chart is there. If this is true, this is a very overextended 5-wave. But if it's not true, then we're coming. Look at these immediate support levels of 10,853, 10,600, 11,000. There's 11,000 psychological in there. Resistance to the upside, 11,257, and there's a double one here, 11,346. Okay, so Bitcoin, again, yes, we had some nice green volume, but the day's just starting again for the UTC time. So again, immediate targets, I'm just talking about like really, really, really short term, is just 11,300, downside 10,784. Okay, Ethereum USD. Ethereum still essentially consolidating inside of here. Almost a little bit of a pennant, right? So if we measure the pennant, measure it 7% approximately. So the breakout, the next target to the upside would be 340, 45. Mark it in blue. Downside target would be like 296 range, right? Plus or minus 7% on Ethereum. The pennant, the hesitation. Okay, let's look to the left. Yes, see, there's support down here in the 290s. There's also resistance up here at the 340s to 350s. Okay, so it's all about momentum. Momentum. Right, but there's a little bit of a little pennant setup right there. XRP, Ripple, look at this, right into the target of the technical analysis. Right here, it's saying, where's the next resistance level to the upside? 25 cents. Okay, then support level down here at 23. 23, right? So, where would the next ones be? Next support and resistance. So next resistance, 25.51. Higher above that, like 26, 27 range. There's 26 and then there's 27 here. These support levels down here still matter. So I'm just going to raise up the targets. Now bullish upside target, 26. I'm going to leave the support down here because this hasn't pulled back significantly that much yet, so it's still possible, right? But if we're thinking high, low, it's got to find its low somewhere, right? Consolidate, pull back, because day traders and bots, robots, algorithms probably are not going to leave 25% on the table. So Bitcoin Cash USD with the breakout this week, but pulling back for 2 days to the support. Again, this whole range now is support. 266 to 281. 270 to 280. That's the support level. 270 to 280. That's support level. So, what could happen? What could happen next? Possibly breakdown, then a breakout. Right? Where's the support level? I circled it last time. 263. Resistance to the upside, 306. So Bitcoin Cash, a little bit of a laggard, a little bit slow, right? Okay, next. Cardano this week, over the weekend, broke out. Okay? And now here in a double top. See that? M. So again, could very well break down to support levels around 12 cents range, 13 cent, 12 cent range. All right, so it's just stuck right now. Basically, let's highlight this. It's stuck right now between 15 cents and 13 cents. So we break out, great. If we break out, then go in like 1 cent increments, right? If we break down, look at all this support. All the support here. So obvious. 12 cents, 11 cents, 9 cents, 8 cents. It's not impossible. Okay? Litecoin. Excuse me. Litecoin. So Litecoin hit our resistance target, okay, and pulling back. Resistance target 57,859. Now with the pullback. So the interesting thing to watch out for Litecoin is it can pull back quite significantly, right? We have immediate support at 54.33, 51.86, 50.80, 49.3, 49.30. Right? So, want to watch out for that resistance on the top, 57.19, 58.28. All these levels come into play. But again, what I'm glad about on Litecoin, which is nice to see, is it's actually doing normal trend. See that? High, 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 low, high, low, high, looking for the low. It would be much harder to chart if it just looks like this, green, 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 green. That's a lot harder to chart, right? So next, Binance Coin, Binance Coin. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Where did it try to test it? Higher low, you see this? One candle, tried to find the higher low. Found support at 1850. Now it's looking for its higher high. Again, the target up here, 2155. 2155, a very strong resistance level. Resistance to 23. 23. Support 1868. 1686 supports. All right, so look at these 4 targets. The blue targets, we shall see. EOS, USD, EOS, USD. Look at this, piercing that resistance that I just said yesterday with a little bit of consolidation. Okay, so the next target is up here though. Next target up here. Why? If this was the upside down head and shoulders, which to me it looks like that. Okay, I drew it 2 times. So 15%. So 15%, we hit that target. 15% from up here is right 350. Okay, but at the same time, it could test again. It could come back down about halfway to the 287 range. Pull back and then break out. Totally possible. Or consolidate and then break out. Consolidate or break down. Anything's possible. Okay, Link USD. Link USD with the daily downtrend pullback. Okay, a little bit of consolidation for 3 days. Starting on this green candle today. So lower low, lower high, lower low. Where's the lower high? Is it here or is it here? Is the lower high at 736 or is that 775? We want to see. We want to see. Okay. But again, Link, usually altcoin, the history of Link, if you really look back at the charts, Link always moves first. Right? Link always moves first. Not first, but you know what I'm saying though. As an altcoin, like Link moves. So, these 3 targets still in play. XLM USD, Stellar USD, Stellar USD. Okay, so I called last time there is a bit of an ugly head and shoulders, right? And it did break down temporarily and came back up. But I deleted it. Why? Because the pattern was fulfilled and we're back up here. So now what's more important is this support level in white right here, the 9 cent, 9449. Okay, then the next support level here is 8569, right? So if we lose this level, then we're probably going back down here to the 8 cent, like 876 range. All right, break bullish, go up, then we could get to 10 cents. But right now we're seeing market consolidation. Why is it going sideways? Why is it going sideways? It's because gold is also going sideways. There is earnings risk tomorrow. People taking their profits. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. So yeah, essentially some consolidation. a little bit of losing of the momentum, because you think about this on this left side, big FOMO rally up, right, into consolidation. So we're going to see. All right. So because the earnings are tomorrow, let's just end with Amazon, the four big ones: Amazon, Apple, Google, Netflix. Okay, Amazon. What's happening right now? Hold on, these lines are a little bit off. Let me redraw this. Sometimes the chart service lines just don't match up. So, consolidating down, we have earnings straight tomorrow. Okay, consolidating right into and we had a tech hearing today. Good thing there's not a huge reaction on tech. I think it's also because the FOMC meeting wasn't that bad. So it evened out. I mean, it was happening at the same time at one point. Crazy. So, right here, just the schedule wise, right? So again, could be a double bottom, possible, right? Possible. It's a bit suspicious. So I'm just gonna highlight this for next time. Okay, possible, right? So if they have bullish earnings on Amazon, I'm expecting the move to 3223. Bearish news, then I'm expecting breakdown to support 2881. Okay, very simple. Let me move this one off. Let's go to Apple. Okay, Apple. Again, the upward sloping wedge was very tight range. Tight range. So breakdown of Apple, like I'm saying, this is suspicious. Some analysts would just say it's bad, but I'm calling it suspicious. It's not over until it's over, right? Breakdown right here. So double top at the price, up at 397. Breakdown. If it breaks down, the first target support would be 355. But if it breaks bullish again, resistance at 400. So we'll have to see. It could go either way based upon these earnings. Next, Google, potential head and shoulders setup, but because it's so close to earnings, who knows if that's going to happen or not. So let's just get some targets up. Let's look at this trend line here. At the support down here. And tighten that up a little bit more accurate. Let's get one on the top here. This one's going to be in yellow. Right, so I'll draw it in yellow on the bottom too. See that? A lot more clear. So the fact that it's been consolidating for a month, essentially, head and shoulders possible. So this immediate support levels are 1476. Then I would also call 1443, so put it here, and support here 1406. If it breaks bullish, if it go up on earnings, I'm expecting 1574. Then 1600 on the top side. Okay, so just want to watch out for that. And last one for today, Facebook. All right, here we go. There's a little bit of a trickier trend line pattern on this one. Little bit trickier. Okay, this is probably not the most accurate one. Let's try this one. This one makes sense too, but there's probably a super... Yeah, this one makes the most sense. You get 3 touch points on this, and it's riding that up. So someone could call this like a very, very large wedge. It's possible. You see this now? Okay, you get 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touch points on the top, 3 touch points on the bottom. We're just making the third one right now into earnings. So the downside target for Facebook, number 1 would be 225, then the support level of 213, then 206. If it breaks bullish and goes up off of earnings reaction for the next couple of days or a week, 248 would be resistance up here, 256 up here, and 260 as well. Okay? So it's riding the support right into earnings. Right into earnings. So that was the analysis for today. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been No FOMO Charts YouTube channel. Please remember to click subscribe hit the like button, turn on notifications for new videos. Please feel free to donate via Patreon or PayPal. The links will be in the description below after this video is over, or it's in my channel About Me page. These donations are appreciated to keep this channel going so I can keep providing quality technical analysis education to all my subscribers and people watching. Thanks so much for watching this live stream. I hope everything goes well for you this week, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.